Welcome to Bible Prayers and Untold Stories, where every whisper verse is truth, and every story brings light to the soul. Let us journey through the sacred words and uncover the wisdom hidden in prayer. On an Easter morning, when humanity was still singing the triumph of life, a great soul silently crossed the threshold of time and eternity. Pope Francis, the Shepherd of Mercy, breathed his last breath at the hour of morning prayer, the hour when the whole church praises the resurrection of Christ. But that death was not just a moment in history, but it is a call from the divine, a sign of predestination, a song that extends the light of Easter. In the final hours, whispers, mysterious signs, weave together a story that few people know, a journey beyond the borders of life and death. While the world was still filled with the cheers of life triumphing over death, deep in the heart of the church, a silent event was engraved in eternity. Within the sacred walls of the Holy See, Pope Francis, the Shepherd of Mercy, has completed his human journey. The small room where Pope Francis rests, the dim light of dawn filters through the window. The clock on the wall slowly moves to 7:35 a.m. The bells ring in the distance. The chant of lauds, morning prayer echoes softly in the air like an ancient breath. The first hour of Easter, 7:35 a.m. As the whole church joins in singing the praises of the risen one, the Pope's soul quietly surrenders, like a dewdrop dissolving into eternal light. Pope Francis's face at rest, serene, his hand still holding the rosary. The faithful everywhere sing the Easter hymn in churches. Christus resurrexit. Alleluia. He did not die alone. He joined the invisible hymn, so that his last breath was not a cry, but a silent response, sent to the risen one from the depths of his faith. The sun pierces the clouds, illuminating the Vatican dome, casting the shadow of the giant cross on the ground. 7:35 a.m. is not the end. It is the moment when the soul responds to the eternal song, when the silence of man meets the chorus of heaven. The pale yellow light from a small candle flickered in the quiet room. Pope Francis was lying on his sickbed, breathing weakly. Before dawn, in the small room filled with the light of prayer, the breath of a man was slowly leaving this temporary world. An old monk holding a rosary quietly prayed the rosary. Beside him, the air was thick with silence. Only the whispers of prayers remained. And then, in that fragile moment, the last whisper rang out, a simple but profound prayer. Lord, have mercy on your church. The whisper echoed softly many times, as if it were echoing to the heavens, from earth to heaven. His mouth whispered. A thin breath dissolved into flickering candlelight. Pope Francis' face. No pain, only absolute peace. Pope Francis, during his years of pontificate, traveled the world, preaching mercy, hugging the sick, washing the feet of prisoners, praying with the poor. Mercy, the theme not only of his pontificate, but of his soul. From his first sermons to his most humble gestures, he lived to love, and now he leaves with a prayer of mercy. The room, the atmosphere was heavy with spirituality, like Christ's last prayer on the cross. Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. Pope Francis' whisper, as light as a breeze, resounded far and wide in the sacred realm, carrying his soul into the song of eternal mercy. A cozy, simple room. Pope Francis in 2018, sitting and chatting with reporters in an intimate interview. He smiled kindly. In 2018, in the middle of a seemingly innocuous conversation, Pope Francis made a half-joking, half-serious remark. If I could choose, I would like to die at Easter. The reporters laughed lightly. No one really cared. Pope Francis just smiled, his eyes distant as if looking up at an invisible horizon. At that moment, no one remembered, no one considered it anything important. His face, his thoughtful eyes, vaguely the shadow of a soul who knows the path he is taking. 2025, the Vatican in the light of Easter, where Pope Francis breathed his last on the second day of Easter. But on Easter week, that unintentional prayer was fulfilled perfectly, as gently as a leaf falling into the arms of the wind. Could it be? The random words of holy souls are not just a trick of fate, Could it be that these are secret seeds, sown from above, and that they only blossom when the time has come? The night sky, thousands of stars revolving, as a symbol of time that is not linear, but full and holy. If life and death are in the hands of God, then could it be that there are also scheduled deaths, like lamps lit at the right moment of divine will? The panorama of St. Peter's Square is bathed in the morning sun. The crowd of faithful stands waiting, but no one is wearing mourning colors. White, gold, and light cover each face. In human tradition, funerals are usually a sad song, but today, in the middle of the octave of Easter, an unusual farewell is taking place. No black cloaks, no mournful laments, but pure white garments, golden light. Alleluia songs filled the basilica. The procession of monks entered, their white robes fluttering under the dome of brilliant light. The Alleluia song rang out, clear as a spring. Pope Francis' coffin was covered with white cloth, the light from the stained glass windows shining straight down, making the coffin seem to glow from within. Death, which was considered the final darkness, today, under the light of Easter, was swallowed up by the triumph of new life. As the choir sang the final Alleluia, a powerful golden light pierced through the dome, shining straight onto the coffin. The light sparkled in every drop of happy tears on the faces of the faithful. No more weeping, only a song of victory, only light and a silent conviction. Death has been defeated. Light has conquered darkness. From the glowing coffin, rising up into the sky above the dome of the church, past the Easter paintings, to the vast blue sky outside. That day's funeral not only bid farewell to a pope, but also proclaimed an eternal truth. Death is no longer the end. It is only the door that opens to eternal life. The scene of the basilica gradually immersed in the sunset light. The Alleluia faded away, leaving a sacred space full of echoes. In the midst of that sacred silence, a mark greater than time quietly appeared. Two portraits, Pope John Paul II and Pope Francis, each with a different gaze, but with the same benevolent expression. Two shepherds of mercy, two great souls, who closed their human journey around the days when the world celebrated God's mercy. John Paul II died on the Vigil of Divine Mercy, April 2005. Pope Francis passed away on Easter morning during the Week of Mercy, 2025. Two events together, like sacred clocks that beat in unison. Asterisk, 2 decades have passed, but that sacred cycle continues, like an echo, like a reverberation from heaven. The heavy clouds gradually parted. A ray of white gold light pierced the darkness dark, drawing a bridge of light connecting 2 generations of priests. Is it possible that their departure was not accidental, but the final seal entrusted to us by God? A reminder that an era has ended and a new era is quietly opening. We are not called to explain all these mysteries, but we are called to enter, to live, and to let faith guide us. Mercy is the beating heart of God, and those who live mercy will never die.